Hey everyone, taking a look here at the 1 year daily bars chart in JNPR, and there's a few things that we are noticing here. So let's just kind of walk through all of them. First of all, we had a pretty significant downtrend intact here initially, and it pulled off of that downtrend, accelerated the downtrend momentum, and here's the accelerated downtrend line. So that there is quite bearish. But if you take a look at some of the recent support levels, we've got some really nice support right around this 1875 price point. And we've seen a couple touches more directly on this 1950 to 19 level. But it seems like this 1825 or 1875 is a really strong area that it tends to hold. Of course, we did have this quick movement below that 1875 support, but all in all, this 1875 price point has proven to draw buy-side interest on multiple occasions. So you can see here that we are approaching this level again. Granted, we do have some downside momentum. We've made a lower high as well as a lower low right here, which is bearish, but all in all, anticipating a potential bounce off of this 1875 support level. And with the right amount of duration, even if it does break below 1875, should snap back. Couple that with the fact that we've got a little bit of inflation in the implied volatility versus historical levels. Historical is more along the lines of 20% average, currently sitting at around 60, so we're right around 3 to 1, 3 times historical implied volatility levels. So that's a nice bonus. Come over here and you take a look at this chart. You can see this is the profit chart. Same thing, 1 year daily bars chart. We've got fairly low RSI. It tends to bounce when it gets off these, or when it gets down to this level of RSI. So here's just a couple examples where it gets to that RSI level and it bounces nicely. So all in all, we see a decent opportunity here on a bullish position, but we do want to make sure we have plenty of room for potential error. So what we're looking at doing here is a covered call. Which you see, we've got the price at 19.15 is the current stock price, and we're going to be looking at selling the closest to the money, but not in the money call. So the closest to the money is going to be the January 12, 20 call, 20 strike. And we're not doing the December because there's only 3 days left in December, so it's just pointless to do that one. Considering January as the front month, and our typical strategy when doing covered calls is selling the closest to the money front month call. So in this case, considering January the front month and the closest to the money call is that January 20. So what you can do is you can either buy the stock and then sell the call against it, or you can just scroll down here to covered stock. You can hit the bid, the ask rather, on the 20 strike in the call side, and that's going to pull this up here, and basically you can just analyze duplicate trade. It takes you over to this screen, and we're all familiar with this screen. So it shows you 1830 as the debit. We'll put 1835 just to make sure everybody has an opportunity to get filled. And if we check, okay, probability date is correct. We're looking at January probability date of the 21st. Set slices to break even on January 21st. And basically it's just showing you that 56.44% chance that we're going to at or above the break-even price point of 1835 in this case. And it's 1835 because it's taking the current price of the stock and subtracting the premium obtained from selling that January 20 call. So this is the strategy we like. 1835 is the break-even. Over here is probably the better one to look at. If we zoom in to all this area that we've kind of checked out here, 1835 is right here. So it gives us plenty of cushion below that level of support that we wanted. And all in all, like being long JNPR here,